Hello and welcome back to Cities Skylines, Better Cities, and in today's episode of Quick Tips we're going to be talking about LUTs or lookup tables. Basically these are the visual adjustments that can make your city look really great. And personally I use the LUT that's called Realistic Light, I think. Let me check. Yeah, I think it's called, let me tell you, it's called Realistic Light, and it's made by Reaper. Now let's take a look at some of the available LUTs. You can go with the standard look, the one that comes with the game, but I'm pretty much sure nobody really likes it because it's kind of dull and the colors are not as bright and not as realistic. It's what you get from the beginning, since the game was designed in 2015 and the main stress was probably put on the gameplay rather than the graphics. So here's what you get with the standard look. And now let's skip the cinematics and switch back to the other one. That's called Temperate. You can choose it for your map. As you can see, nothing changed. That's probably the basic one. Then we have Boreal. And that's what it looks like. Let's take a look at some cinematics again. And still you can't really notice a big difference between these two. Still looks pretty dull, and yeah, colors are not as bright, not as saturated. The contrast is on the lower end. Anyway, but that's what you get with the game from the beginning. Let's switch to something different. You can go for tropical look as well. And as you can see, this one has a much warmer light, warmer colors, but basically it's still the same kind of look. And right now you can see that all of the terrible traffic that is going to my industry zone on the left. Anyway, let's switch back to the eye candy mode and try some different looks. Let's take a look at the European. European looks, it actually looks pretty nice for the basic LUTs that come with the game. It's kind of one of the most realistic LUTs you can get without downloading any modes, and you can choose it from the beginning. You can choose the theme for your map, and that's what it's going to look like. Not bad at all. Let's take a look at some other options as well. Here we have Autumn Look, also one of my favorites. It's a really nice one. Let's switch to this one instead. It makes the trees look brownish, orange-ish kind of. It does look like real autumn, a really nice one. But again, you can use it when you want to have autumn in your city, if your city is supposed to have 4 seasons, or 3.5, since you cannot have winter. Let's take a look at some other options. We have the Candy LUT. Let's take a look at this one. And I am not impressed. Maybe there is something that I need to adjust, but for now it just doesn't look right. Once again, the contrast is on the low, it's not all that saturated, it's kind of, I don't know, that is not what I want for my city, so that's why I don't really use it. Let's take a look at some other options. We have the Nemesis LUT, let's take a look at this one. And it's kind of a much nicer one, with warm colors, enough saturation, but still it doesn't look all that realistic, it just looks nice. It just looks nice as for the game. And that's actually one of the LUTs that I used to have before I switched to Realistic Light. And let's take a look at real, neutral, non-real light colors, whatever that's supposed to mean. And yeah, that doesn't really look all that real. It looks much more like the original game theme. Let's take a look at the other one. Nothing really changed. Neutral, vibrant. When you switch to vibrant, yeah, the colors really pop. And it looks, I don't know, for me it's just too much to look at, especially since I have so many trees in my city, and it's just tiring to look at. Let's try another one. We have Colorless, and yeah, that kind of describes it really well. So all of the colors are going to be less saturated, there's going to be more contrast, and sometimes it does give you a really cool look, especially if you look at this CBD area. Not a bad one, definitely not a bad option. And by the way, you can find all of these LUTs and some more on the workshop. You can subscribe for them. You can subscribe to them and they'll be available in the game. But you also need the ultimate eye candy to use them. Let's take a look. I think, yeah, we have this one, Relight Average. Looks kind of pretty dull, but again, if you're aiming for some kind of probably American city with lots of highways, lots of gridlock system, lots of parking spaces, this one might actually look really authentic if that's what you intend to have. Then we have Frost, and that gives you these cool colors. I think a lot of people that build Japanese cities tend to use one of these LUTs. It's on the much cooler and much sharper, more contrast kind of end of the things. Let's take a look at Heat. Heat is one of the really nice ones to have, especially if you want to build some kind of a city that is located in the Middle East or in Africa perhaps. This is a really cool kind of look. If you build a city that is located in the middle of a desert, it's also a nice look to go for. Let's see what else do we have to play with. We have Kali, whatever that means. Oh, I think it's another dull kind of look. Low contrast, low saturation, kind of high contrast. I don't know. This is not. I don't really like it. I wouldn't use it in my city, but if you do like it, feel free to use it. Makoto, whatever that's supposed to mean. This is a kind of interesting look, but once again, it depends on what kind of city do you intend to build. It definitely doesn't fit all that well in my city. Let's take a look at the next one. This one is actually much better. Especially, I think it looks especially nice in this area over here, the replica of Hudson Yards. It fits the scene really well. Then we have the soft option, which basically has less contrast and more brightness. Then we have the candy LUT. Okay, and once again, real neutral, and that is pretty much it in terms of the LUTs that I have here, and that's more than enough. Normally I just go for the one from Reaper, and it's something that makes my city look exactly the way I intended it to be. And if that's something that is suitable for your city, feel free to go and look it up on the workshop. If there's any other LUT that you liked in this video, you can also download and subscribe to them. And if you didn't find anything suitable, you kind of get the idea how it works, and you can go and find more amazing LUTs for your city. Thank you so much for watching. That is pretty much it for today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.